Hello, I'm Jamie Rogers, Assistant Dean for Strategic Initiatives at Florida International University.
I'm Ria Ray. My role at FIU is Digital Assets Project Manager. We're excited to present Ethical Data Curation in Libraries and Archives, an NEH-funded initiative exploring how libraries can lead with human-centered ethical data practices. Over the next few slides, we'll walk you through the goals, methods, and broader impact of our work.
As data is increasingly incorporated into humanities research, it also raises complex ethical questions about how data is curated, accessed, and used. These ethical concerns include the privacy of individuals, even in historical records, consent and representation, cultural sensitivity, contextual integrity, datafication of human lives and experiences, as well as accessibility. Libraries and archives have a long history in the stewardship of and access to information, making them potential leaders in developing ethical frameworks for data curation. Our presentation offers a case study in how we applied care-based principles to archival data through the Dana A. Dorsey Collaborative Digital Project. This NEH-funded initiative, led by FIU, is titled Enhancing Access and Research Possibilities Through Critical Engagement with Historical Data. It focuses on transforming historical legal and real estate documents into open data resources. Our goals are to expand access, responsibly represent Miami community histories, and model ethical community-centered data practices. Based on the papers of Dana A. Dorsey, widely regarded as Miami's first Black millionaire, the project explores community development, interpersonal networks, and investments within early 20th century Miami. With this open data, we aim to enhance understanding of urban development and land use regulations, as well as the contributions of Black civic groups, trade groups, and community alliances that shaped the economic and social infrastructure of the city.
The city of Miami was incorporated in 1896 during a period of rapid development, in part driven by Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. Miami's early real estate boom drew Black migrants from the Caribbean and the American South, seeking opportunities unavailable elsewhere. Segregation laws in the United States, including Jim Crow laws, played a crucial role in the establishment of segregated communities, like Colored Town, which is present-day Overtown in Miami, where Black residents were restricted to specific areas and denied equal access to public services, infrastructure, and resources. Despite these barriers, the Black community created support systems through mutual aid societies, churches, and businesses. Providing access to legal documents and property records related to the development of Colored Town is essential for understanding the community's history. Ethical historical data work ensures that these records are accessible, accurately represented, and reflect the voices of the communities they document. Dana A. Dorsey moved to Miami around the time of the city's incorporation, and alongside his wife Rebecca, invested in real estate. During the segregation era, they leased and sold property, primarily to Black residents. The collection, donated to Florida International University's Special Collections and University Archives by FIU professor Marvin Dunn, includes 291 documents, consisting of deeds, mortgages, and correspondence, recording how Black Miamians purchased homes, ran businesses, and invested in community. Digitized and accessed over 168,000 times, the collection has limited discoverability due to minimal metadata. Our project enhances access through full-text transcription, property mapping, and structured data, revealing names, occupations, affiliations, and locations to support deeper exploration and historical analysis. From the start, we prioritized stakeholder engagement and ethics. Collaborators included Dr. Marvin Dunn, as well as historians, librarians, and digital humanities experts. We built a diverse advisory board and project team to ensure that many perspectives, especially from Black history and archival practice, shaped our decisions. Transparency and feedback were central to our process. We gathered input through a website form, regular advisory board meetings, and close collaboration with our consultant, Dr. Nathan Connolly. Focusing on the individuals associated with Dorsey's investments and property ownership, we have developed a comprehensive resource of data on real estate, investment, and social networks in Miami. By staying flexible and responsive, we've aimed to build a research model grounded in ethics, historical context, and collaboration. Looking at the table on this slide, you can see an overview of our three primary data types: unstructured, structured, and geospatial. The unstructured data includes transcripts and document images made accessible through our digital library and data repository. The structured data is stored as downloadable CSVs, provides relationship, roles, and demographic fields. And our spatial data includes historical plat maps and mapped property locations viewable via ArcGIS. Each format supports different modes of inquiry while preserving transparency and usability. To make the collection accessible, we created full-text transcripts of 291 documents consisting of over 620 pages using a speech-to-text workflow with Microsoft Word. OCR tools proved unreliable due to mixed quality print and handwriting, so we adopted a speech-to-text workflow using Microsoft Word's dictation tool. It was accurate, accessible, and well-suited for our interns who led much of the transcription work. We followed the Library of Congress's By the People guidelines to navigate complex formatting and marginalia. For dense tables, we included notes directing users to the original documents, striking a balance between accuracy and accessibility while preserving document integrity. Through transcription, we uncovered legalese like prohibition clauses, racial covenants restricting property to white or Black occupants, and gender-based exclusions in insurance policies. We also discovered references to key Black community leaders like Dr. William B. Sawyer, Kelsey Farr, attorney Richard Toomey, and others, who shaped Miami's educational, medical, and civic infrastructure. Their presence in the papers highlight Black leadership and show how these individuals built and protected community within Miami.
Structured data curated from the Dorsey papers provides details on over 880 individuals and 270 entities involved in property and community development. Our project interns manually entered the data into spreadsheets, which were then reviewed by the project PIs. The project team followed a strict ethical framework using a data minimization approach. We considered the historical significance, community norms, and project mission when making decisions about the potential data points. We didn't infer race or gender in the data. We also avoided using secondary sources like census data for demographic confirmation. Instead, we recorded only what appeared in the documents themselves. To address issues of privacy, we followed the National Archives and Records Administration regulations for making PII available, or personally identifiable information. These guidelines state that NARA withholds records not previously made public and that are less than 75 years old. Many of the records we are working with here are in fact public records that are more than 75 years old. That is one of the factors that has guided our decision to make this information public. While the individuals included in these materials are likely no longer with us, we still want to be cognizant of the potential impact of this work to their descendants and the community. That is why it's our goal to involve the descendants in future iterations of this work. To promote data transparency, we adopted the Data Sheets for Data Sets framework, originally designed for big data, but highly useful for cultural heritage projects. It helped us to document the data we curated, why this data was selected, as well as the processes we used. We also provided guidance for responsible reuse. For example, the data sets shouldn't be seen as fully representative of the community. Things like gender should be treated as historically situated, and users should avoid implying ownership claims based on these historical records. We encourage researchers to also cross-check with original documents and consult communities where appropriate to ensure sensitive ethical use. The following is a spreadsheet of the information about individuals mentioned in the Dorsey papers. We recorded the demographic data such as gender, marital status, role, business affiliation, occupation, and the identifier of the documents the individuals are mentioned in. And this is a spreadsheet of the entities mentioned in the papers, the type of entity, and the identifier of the documents they are mentioned in. The project team used this information to build some network visualizations with graphing tools like Graph Commons to visualize the relationships between individuals, groups, and organizations mentioned in the documents. This sample network graph demonstrated the relationships between the Dorsey Holding Company and numerous individuals connected to that company through transactions with Dana Dorsey. This sample network exploration will hopefully provide others the inspiration, necessary tools, and data to visualize additional links between businesses, occupations, locations, and more, further enriching our understanding of these networks. Our geospatial work involved both georectification, which is aligning historical maps with current geography or geographic imagery, and geolocation of Dorsey properties. To create a historical picture of 1925 Miami, we stitched together plat maps and overlaid them on current geographic features. To locate the properties listed in the Dorsey papers, we then mapped these as polygons in an interactive ArcGIS interface. This process not only visualized the historical geography, but also produced a clear, replicable workflow for other projects working with historical spatial data. To demonstrate how this process works, take a look at the property transfer on the left-hand side between Herman B. Walker and Dana A. Dorsey. The agreement provided a precise location, which is outlined in red, for this property. So this is Section 10, Township 54 South, Range 42 East. By manually plotting the description from the property transfer, we were able to visualize the location of this property as a polygon. If you look towards the middle panel, you can see that polygon in kind of a teal blue color. When the property's boundaries were then overlaid on modern satellite imagery through the process of georectification, it clearly delineates the Dorsey properties within our modern landscape. What you see here is a map of Fisher Island, current residence for Miami's most wealthy, and once owned by Dorsey, who planned to build a beach resort for Miami's Black community. During this mapping process, the team identified a number of additional landmarks that reflect the community structures, such as Dorsey Park, which was designated as a colored city park in the 1925 Plat Book of Miami. On the right-hand side, you can see the stitched together plat map pages from the 1925 Hopkins Plat Book that I mentioned. The pages were placed in alignment with current topographical features. This all comes together in a dashboard developed by our GIS experts where users may search for specific map deeds, correspondence, and other legal documents from the collection. Polygons appear on the plat map for the property locations. In this example, you can see 2 polygons in the center of the plat map on the screen. There also is a timeline at the bottom of the dashboard indicating the year the documents were created. On the right-hand side, users may select additional map layers, including modern satellite imagery. The map residential properties, when overlaid with modern satellite imagery, reveal the significant transformations in the urban landscape over the past century. The I-95, I-395, and the Metro line now cut through areas that were once established neighborhoods, like Overtown pictured here. The transformation into major highway corridors is a reflection of Miami's rapid growth in urban development, which displaced many early communities to make way for infrastructure. So a central goal of our project was to create an ethics-driven community practice around historical data. We emphasized transparency, making our documentation and decisions fully accessible online. We were intentional with our language, avoiding extractive terms like mining and discovering, and instead using words like documenting and curating. Demographic attributes were preserved only as recorded in the documents, and we used an iterative process, revisiting methods based on feedback from our advisory board, our consultant, and community stakeholders. This model, reflecting the voices of the communities they document, rooted in care, ethics, and collaboration, is something we hope others can build on.
Looking ahead, we're excited to deepen our engagement with the community, especially the descendants of individuals mentioned in the collection. Their perspectives could help us interpret and share this data in more meaningful ways. We're exploring new features like name-to-source lookup tools and advanced navigation between people, places, and organizations. We also aim to expand the dataset's scope by partnering with other institutions and incorporating related collections. There's strong potential for teaching applications, and we hope to work with educators to develop lesson plans and guides. Continued outreach, workshops, and further funding could help scale this work to broader audiences. We'd like to take some time to thank our project team, interns, and community partners, and especially the NEH for making this work possible. We give special thanks to our FIU history colleagues, Drs. Lipartito, Capot, and Royals, and to our dedicated interns, Juan, Catherine, and Rosemary.
We also want to thank Dr. Marvin Dunn, who donated the collection and remained a guiding voice throughout the project, as well as Dr. Nathan Connolly, who served as our excellent project consultant. We're also extend our thanks to our advisory board and our GIS team, including Dr. Juhas, Dr. Tergazarian, and Mr. Garcia Falcone, who were instrumental in shaping this project's impact. Thank you.